So today's daily dose could be titled adaptability and flexibility, or adapting to change, or any of those types of things, because the ugly reality is I'm going to have to do all of those when it comes to the daily dose in the weeks ahead, because I just got a message from my hosting service that the quick blogcast service that I have used for the last 2 years to make sure that there's a daily dose available for each and every one of us is being discontinued on June 25th. And the only way that I'm going to be able to continue to do the daily dose is if I transfer over to WordPress. And I don't even know what that is. And I begin to use a new service that I'm completely unfamiliar with. And I basically recreate the daily dose again from scratch with a whole new blogging site and the whole 9 yards. So with that fantastic... Oh, and by the way, the new service is more expensive than the one I had before. Isn't that great? They're like, yeah, listen, by the way, this is great. This is great news. We're going to get rid of the service you've been using forever. We've got this new service that's even better that you're going to be forced to use, but you have to create it all over again. You can't migrate your content, and it's more expensive. But you're going to love it. I'm thinking, yes, I'm going to love it. What's the point? The point is a couple of things. Number one is a couple of these nights I may end up working on the website rather than recording a daily dose. So if I only get us 3 or 4 times a week as opposed to 5 or 6 a week, you'll forgive me for that over the next couple of weeks. And then the second piece is that the website is going to change. It's going to look a little different. The URL will stay the same. You'll still go to thedailydoseonline.com, but the website is going to completely transform. It's going to look completely different. It's going to be a whole new website. There's going to be new content made available there. We're going to have some slideshows. We're going to have some other things. It should be fantastic. You guys should absolutely love it. I'm actually very excited that they're making me do this, because the dailydoseonline.com website was frankly a little antiquated. And this has been a long time coming. So I'm being forced by circumstances to do something I don't want to do that's going to be time consuming and inconvenient, but better for all of us in the long term. And isn't that interesting how well that reflects to daily life, right? Sometimes we're forced into doing things, or we're influenced or guided or pushed into doing things that we don't necessarily want to do, or that we're not necessarily crazy about, or that are outside of our comfort zones, or that are inconvenient. But we know that at the end of the day, when it's all complete, it's going to be the best thing for everyone, and it's actually going to be a step forward or a move forward. And sometimes we don't even know that until after we've engaged, or we've done it, or we've made the change, or we've taken the effort, or we've done whatever it was we were required to do. Sometimes we don't know what the end result is going to be, but in hindsight, we can look back and go, them shutting down that web service was the best thing that ever happened to me. It forced me to move over to this newer web service. Now I could integrate Facebook, and I could do all these other things, and my presence is a lot larger on the web, and this was actually a beautiful thing, but I never would have done it if I hadn't been forced into it. And sometimes those kind of things happen to us. So guys, here's what I need you to do. I need you to recognize that when changes in your life come about that are not necessarily of your making, things that are forced on you or things that are imposed on you, and you feel as though you're like, this is a real... Stop and take a step back and say, how could this be a positive thing for me? How could this be something that's going to propel me forward? How could this be an advance or a betterment or a advantage? How can this be a benefit to my life as opposed to just a hindrance or an inconvenience, which is the way that it appears on the surface? Because I'll tell you, in the seeds of every adversity is benefit and greatness and victory and all of those things. And if you look back on some of the challenges in your life, big or small, you'll find that on the other side of that challenge, there was some kind of reward that was greater than the inconvenience or the discomfort of the challenge itself. And that is the dichotomy of our whole lives. Some folks will spend their whole lives avoiding challenge, or avoiding discomfort, or avoiding new things, or avoiding change. And what they're really avoiding is progress and betterment and the full potential of their lives, and the full fulfillment of their own potential within their lives. Because as long as you're stuck where you are, and you're not growing, and you're not changing, and you're not developing, then nothing in your life is getting better. And so I want you to know that we've talked about this so many times in the Daily Dose, right? There is no status quo in humankind. In human beings, you and I as individuals, we're either getting better or we're getting worse. We're either getting skinnier or we're getting fatter. We're either getting louder or we're getting quieter. We're either getting older well, we're always getting older. There's nothing we're going to do about that, right? But there is no status quo. You can never stay the same. You're either becoming more tolerant or less tolerant. You're either becoming kinder or you're becoming harder. You're either becoming more giving or you're becoming less giving. There's no just staying the same. And so it's incumbent upon all of us to constantly find ways to grow and become better. And sometimes those breakthroughs that we need so badly that we can't muster ourselves to do on our own are imposed on us and they're disguised. They're wrapped up in a little package that looks like a problem that you and I don't recognize for what it is until we unwrap it. So embrace your challenges and embrace your new problems, even if they're imposed on you, and recognize that within those are the seeds of greatness that are going to propel you forward. And with that, you can look forward to the seeds of the greatness of the New Daily Dose as I unpack the problem of building a new website from scratch. The one thing I will tell you, though, is that going forward, some of your favorite posts will no longer be available on the website. In fact, on day one, when we launch the new platform, there's only going to be one post, and it's going to be that day's. And from that day going forward, we'll have a history of posts. But everything we've done up to that point, everything that's on the current dailydose.com website is going to be gone. So if you want to subscribe to me on YouTube, you can have access to all of those old Daily Dose Online blogcasts, and you can find them. I'm at Brian D. McIntosh on YouTube. You can find me on YouTube. Find my channel, Brian D. McIntosh, or I think my YouTube channel is the Daily Dose Online as well. So you can find me there, and you can have all those old daily doses if you want to keep hanging on to them. All right. So guys, with that, embrace your challenges. Go out there. Let's make it a great week.